Well, joining us here in Doha is Sultan Barakat. He's a professor of public policy at Hamad bin Khalifa University. Good to have you with us. So G7 leaders are meeting. What do you expect their message might be to Donald Trump on this conflict?
Well, I think privately everyone would like the conflict to stop. However, publicly, most of the Western nations have no option but to go back to the same rhetoric about, Israel has the right to protect itself, to defend itself, and so on. And it's quite ironic that none of them mentioned Iran's right to defend itself at this stage, given the fact that actually it was Israel who started the aggression. What would be interesting is to watch Japan's position of this, because if you follow the flow of energy from the Gulf, it's no longer going to the West, really. It's going east.
Asia.
It's going to Japan, China, Korea, and India. And it would be interesting to see the position of those countries.
They don't want a disruption of the oil
supplies.
flow
They don't
from
want
the
this
Straits of
conflict
Hormuz.
to go any further. The attack yesterday on the gas fields, the Iranian gas field, has raised a lot of alarm, I think. You could see that immediately reflected in the markets. But they are almost entirely dependent on energy coming from this part of the world. So it's absolutely not in their interest to see this going any further. And I think practically Israel may have now run out of steam in terms of being able to sustain its attacks without direct involvement by the United States. And you can see.
Why do you say that, Sultan? Wouldn't one assumes the US, even if it won't get involved itself, will continue the sort of open flow of weapons?
Well, it's not just about weapons. They need personnel, they need people to rest, they need aircraft to be maintained and reserviced, they need them all the time to be refueled mid-air. They need the Jordanians and all the others to continue their defense on the eastern front and so on. So there are a lot of needs there that a country of the size of Israel is very unlikely to be able to sustain it. I mean, you have to remember that now Israel is totally isolated. All its airports are closed. The population outside is outside. Those inside are trapped inside. They're trying to get out. They can't get out. It's a very different story from a country like Iran with its strategic depth and many open borders around it. And of course, now that this part of the world, the East and the South, I think, of the global South, starting to wake up to what is going on, understanding the potential threats, including countries like Pakistan, India, what are the implications of this war to them, Turkey, and so on. It's not inconceivable to see them rallying now to the support of Iran, including maybe even militarily and the physical support.
Really? Do you see a situation which Turkey, Pakistan might offer military support?
I think it would be a total nightmare for Turkey if Iran fails and Israel has the total hegemony over the region. It's a nightmare scenario for Turkey and certainly for Pakistan. So it's just a matter of time now. It'll be interesting to watch what Russia will do. I think Russia is now trying to position itself in a way where they may be the peacemakers in this particular conflict, while the US is trying to make peace between them and Ukraine and try and use it as a leverage. The Russians are quite pleased, I would say, in the fact that many weapons have had to be diverted from the Ukrainian front to supply the Israelis. And again, that can only go for some time. It can't happen openly and endlessly.
If this conflict drags on, are we basically, what is the possibility this ends up as a sort of war of attrition over a long term?
You can't see it going that way unless the Iranians decide to really march across to Israel. I think a tit-for-tat conflict like this is impossible to sustain, really, on both sides, but more so on the Israelis, because they've invested heavily, high technology right from the beginning. Now their intelligence network is burned out. They've used it. They've eliminated and assassinated whoever they could within the country. Iran has woken up to this fact. They're after those people who have collaborated with the Israelis. So that is blown up as a cover. They have much less strategic advantage, I think, than they had a few days ago. And as I was saying earlier, although the number of missiles Iran is throwing at Israel are less, the quality is higher. And these supersonic, whatever they call them, hypersonic missiles seems to be able to penetrate the Iron Dome and to cause damage that Israel has never dreamed of before.
All right, thank you so much, Sultan Barakat, for joining us, Professor of Public Policy at the Hamad bin Khalifa University.
Oh.